And we are live. Hello, 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 everyone. Breaking news out of Pennsylvania. Continuous coverage of a terrible incident that happened earlier today. Two troopers got ambushed by a madman up in Pennsylvania, northern part of Pennsylvania, right near the New York border. Come on in, folks. Apparently, there's going to be a press conference coming up with some key details on what exactly happened here at around 11 a.m. this morning when there was some sort of hoax, false call. Someone made a call to 911 to report of a shooting of a woman, and then troopers arrived to the scene. And as they arrived to the scene, apparently they've been ambushed, like whoever it was. And I'm assuming it's a guy. I'm saying it's a guy. It's no confirmation that the suspect is a guy, but most likely a man. The person opened fire right at law enforcement, and other troopers arrived. They had to take cover, and just a chaotic scene today, like a literally attack on law enforcement. And suspect is dead. Suspect is dead. We know that. Josh Shapiro actually spoke about an hour ago. He arrived up to the scene. He rushed to the scene to check the status of the two troopers, and it looks like the troopers are okay. That got hit. Two got hit. Looks like they're in stable condition, so non-life threatening, but you never know in that moment. This is crazy, folks, what happened here, but it clearly shows it was an ambush. That's what the information that's coming out, that this was a straight up ambush. So hopefully we'll get some key details on exactly like what happened here, how and why, and maybe they'll even identify the suspect. I'm waiting for the suspect's name so then we can do an extensive deep dive and find out who this person is and why they did this up in this rural area. This has hallmarks and kind of reminiscent of Eric Frein, the Eric Frein case out of Pennsylvania years back. Eric Frein ambushed law enforcement troopers, Pennsylvania state troopers, and then took off into the mountains, Pennsylvania. And then there was just a manhunt for days for this guy until he was captured. He actually got captured. But this situation is a little bit different. Not all the cases are all the same, but it has similarities here. It's probably somebody like anti-government. Shapiro actually spoke about an hour ago, just briefly for like 6 minutes. And then we're supposed to get a 6 p.m. press conference. But in the meantime, I'll play Shapiro. I'll put Shapiro up, and we can listen to Shapiro when he spoke a little bit earlier.
I'm Stacey Lang. A developing story right now out of Susquehanna County. True troopers were shot this morning near Thompson. Governor Josh Shapiro is at Geisinger CMC in Scranton, where at least one of those wounded troopers is being treated. He's about to provide an update. Let's listen in.
Who is in stable condition and is a real hero here in this community. The colonel will show details of what happened, but I can tell you that Trooper Perechinsky saved lives today. He quite likely almost saved the life of his partner and the life of community members who were in the area. He acted decisively, he acted thoughtfully, and the work he did today exemplifies the absolute best of the Pennsylvania State Police, the best law enforcement agency in the entire nation. We are indebted to Trooper Perechinsky, Trooper Jenkins, who was the other trooper who was injured. I'm on my way to see Trooper Jenkins now, and I just hope that the entire community here in northeastern Pennsylvania and all across our Commonwealth will join me and Lori in prayer for the Perechinsky family, the Jenkins family, and the entire family of the Pennsylvania State Police. This was the 5th and 6th shooting of a state trooper during my time and Colonel Paris's time in these roles. It never gets easier, but I am always strengthened by and lifted up by the heroism and the bravery that these troopers demonstrate in just really, really difficult circumstances. And Trooper Perechinsky and Trooper Jenkins are two more examples of that extraordinary bravery, and this entire community owes them a debt of gratitude. Colonel?
Thank you, Governor.
You might as well just rotate over here just a little bit for us. There we go. All right, and go ahead.
I would simply add to confirm the names, Troopers Perechinsky and Jenkins were shot in the line of duty today. Both are listed in stable condition. We are very thankful for that. We have a very active crime scene in Susquehanna County that we're still working. I can tell you that the actor is deceased, and more information will be released specifically about what happened today, but there is no threat to the community. In saying just a skeletal outline of what happened, shortly after 11 a.m., the two troopers that I mentioned were dispatched to check the welfare of an individual, and there was additional information about shots being fired. We will have more information about the specifics of how that call came in, but upon their arrival, they were immediately fired upon and ambushed. They are very lucky to be alive. Trooper Perechinsky was able to place a tourniquet on Trooper Jenkins, and despite both of their patrol cars being riddled with bullets, a third trooper was able to get in and evacuate them, and the incident evolved from there. Again, more information to come on the specifics of that, but we are very lucky today with the two troopers, and we're thankful. Our hearts and prayers go out to both of them and their families, as well as the community in Susquehanna County. And as the governor said, this is troopers 5 and 6 who've been shot since January of 2023. We've had one shot fatally. So we're very appreciative of the work that gets done by the women and men of the state police and our local and fellow state and federal partners on a daily basis. We've received support from the New York State Police, who is a frequent collaborative partner for our troopers up in the northern tier, operating out of Gibson and Wayne County, and we're very much in debt to the purple ties and Stetsons of the New York State Police, as well as our municipal partners today. So more to come on that, but that's all I have for right now. Thank you.
Let me just add one final piece here. I spent some time with the doctors and nurses and the staff here at Geisinger. They're extraordinary. They do amazing work. And we were lamenting the fact that this is my second visit here to the hospital in roughly a year or so. We were here, of course, for Gil Martin. And I think it gets lost sometimes in our society, the incredible work these healthcare providers offer to our community. And we're really indebted to them as well. And so I want to thank them, and I want to thank the entire Geisinger family.
Now, were you able to have a conversation with Trooper Perechinsky? What was the conversation like? How was it?
I was able to spend time with him and his family. He is in good spirits. He's beat up pretty good, but he's going to be okay. He was there with his girlfriend Bree, who is also a state trooper, along with his father, who's a police chief, and his mother as well, and many other members of their family. They're clearly a tight-knit family, and they're a law enforcement family. And I must say it was really uplifting and spiritual, frankly, to be with them. They're in such good spirits that we were, busting chops a little bit, which is always a good sign. When a cop can bust chops, it means they're going to be okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Are you good? Rosie can give you what we said earlier. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.
We just heard from Governor Josh Shapiro, as well as State Police Colonel Chris Paris, and the man on the right there on the screen there is the State Police Chaplain Monsignor Muldowney. Hearing an update on the shooting of those two troopers in Susquehanna County, we now have their names. Troopers Perechinsky and Trooper Jenkins were shot at that incident near Thompson in Susquehanna County earlier today. We were told by Colonel Paris that they were ambushed when they went to make a welfare check at the home. They also have confirmed that the suspect in this case has been killed. We're being told that those two troopers are in stable condition. Perechinsky is at Geisinger CMC, where that press conference was just held. The trooper's car is riddled with bullets, one trooper putting a tourniquet on the other, potentially saving his life. And Governor Shapiro started his comments by saying that both troopers saved the lives of members of the community today. During that incident in Susquehanna County, we have reporters on the scene and reaction from folks up in Susquehanna County. We will have much more coverage on this case coming up on Newswatch 16.
All right, so that was a little bit earlier. That was about an hour ago. And the talk here is there's going to be a press conference. There's a stream set up, and apparently it's going to happen soon. It's supposed to happen now at 6 p.m. So we're waiting for that to pop up to try to get some information, more information on what's going on. Dyer, thank you for the comment there. Thank you for being a member of JLR Investigates. Stay tuned, 88. Welcome to JLR Investigates. We appreciate everyone in the chat as we cover what's going on nationwide with the craziness. This is just an attack on law enforcement again. I mean, I can't even count how many times this has happened around the country where law enforcement has been attacked this year. There was one last night in Chesapeake, Virginia. Officers are responding to a domestic violence incident. Guy there shoots his significant other or some female there. It's horrible. And then shot at the police, and 2 officers hit, and then he went on the run. Remember Cincinnati with the incident where the guy took revenge out on just an innocent deputy and just ran him over because he was mad. He saw body cam footage of his son by police, a different police agency. Remember the attack on the firefighters up there in Idaho, Lorain police just a few weeks ago, Lorain, Ohio, police officers being attacked. This police officer anti-sentiment stuff, man, there's people out there that do not like police, and they seem to be taking it out. Now, there could have been a domestic violence incident here, some sort of call. But the media report that we listened to before was talking about it was a fake call. Like, it was a fake call to lure these troopers there specifically so they get there and then they get fired upon. You know, why somebody would do this? Some people are saying in the chat, suicide by cop, someone just unhinged. We don't know. But we are waiting for an update here. According to Fox 56 Wolf TV, which is the local channel up there in northern Pennsylvania, they have it all set up for 6 p.m. So we're just waiting to see. This was scheduled for 5:30. One thing I've noticed about Josh Shapiro is covering some of his other press conferences, he comes a little late sometimes. Sometimes they set up a press conference and then he starts out later. So hopefully we don't get that too late, because we want to see what happened here with this. And I want to know who the suspect is, so then I have my other phone on me so we can do some deep dives and find out who the suspect was from this. The suspect is dead, so there's no threat to the community. That's good. But what is happening here? What can why are all these troopers being shot in Pennsylvania? They said that was the 5th and 6th trooper shot since 2023. What's happening with that? Like, what in the heck is going on? Why are troopers getting attacked in Pennsylvania? What's the deal there? Maybe they'll have to try to change protocol, or maybe go in pairs or groups of them instead of just single-handedly. I don't know. How can you stop this? How can you stop this? Do police have to, before they get out of their vehicle, have their guns already drawn, or before they get out already canvass the area and make sure nobody's plotting them or something? I don't know what the solution is to stop these type of ambushes, or for any law enforcement around the country. We just don't know. So we are waiting for an update. Nothing on the feed yet. JLR Investigates, come on in. In the meantime, which is rocking and rolling. The news reports are out about this incident that happened 11 a.m.-ish. 11 a.m. The attack took place in a rural area near Thompson Township, which is in Susquehanna County, shortly after 11 a.m. State Police Corporal Christopher Paris told reporters that he and Governor Shapiro met with one of the wounded officers in the hospital. By the way, the people's names, the 2 troopers' names, if I do not pronounce this right, I apologize. Perechinsky and William Jenkins. So we are on JLR Investigates. If you are a part of the trooper family or whatnot, we are praying for their speedy recovery. It seems like they are surrounded by friends and family. So it happened a little bit around 11 a.m. this morning. They got the call. They got the call to go out. They were dispatched to check the welfare of an individual. And then there was additional information about shots being fired. And then once they got out of their vehicles, they were just instantly fired upon and really having enough time to defend themselves like that, though they did. But they got caught off guard, ducked around cars. 2 got hit, and they had to do a tourniquet on one of them. And it's just a horrible situation. This is a very remote area. It's a mountainous area. Second biggest mountain in Pennsylvania is nearby. Now, where's the press conference? That's what we're waiting for. A press conference on right now. I don't see it on yet. It's supposed to come on according to the feed. I want to get some information and find out what exactly happened here with this terrible incident in Pennsylvania. We're covering too many of these police officers getting attacked all over the place. It just never stops. Officer shot, some crazy stuff. There is some reports out. I could get in the meantime, we could play a couple of reports and share some of the information that's out if y'all are interested in that while we wait for this press conference. I don't know. They're on some sort of delay here. It was supposed to happen at 6 p.m. I'd like to get the details. Hopefully they don't leave us hanging too long. Crazy day, folks. A lot of crazy things happening all across this country. It just never stops. Just never stops. JLR investigates. Trooper shot. But other than that, we don't know. We don't know who. We don't know the name of the trooper that. We don't know the shooter suspect. And I'm assuming it's a male. Safe to say the people that do this is mostly male. It could be a female, but I'm hearing that the suspect is deceased, but they don't say the gender of the person that did this. So they don't say the gender who did this. So I'm assuming it's a guy. Now, what's taking them so long? In the meantime, we're just sitting here waiting for this press conference to come up. And we'll see. Waiting for the presser. In the meantime, I'll listen to some of the comments and see what some of you all are saying. And yeah, we got this coming up shortly. They got the feed, but it's just not up. Like they got it set up like it's going to happen. So everybody, what's your thoughts on this? Anyone from this area that knows what's up or can share some insight in the chat? We'd love to know a little bit about, what exactly happened here with this. Troopers ambushed. Troopers ambushed. They haven't turned it on yet. We're waiting, though. They have not turned it on yet. So hopefully it happens at the 6 p.m. like they said it was going to. Before it was 5:30. Come on in, JLR investigates. Trooper shot. Did I do enough rambling? Where is this press conference? One thing I notice about Shapiro, whether you like Shapiro or not, some people do, some people don't. One thing we've noticed about Shapiro when it comes to these craziness in Pennsylvania, he seems like he rushes to the scene pretty quickly and at least gets out there and speaks about the matter. And, he's a politician, but I do think in a sense he does care. It does appear he cares. Case in point, he knew specifics about one of the troopers. He knew the trooper's wife or significant others. A leader gets to listen to the people's stories and remember and relay that. So that is some interesting things about Shapiro. One thing I've noticed about him, other governors sometimes are late to the party or don't even come to the scene. One thing I've noticed about him is he's there, and I'm assuming that he's going to be here at this press conference that is going to be played here shortly. But yeah, the attack on police, man, this is just too crazy and too insane that this keeps happening and happening and happening. some people call for the reinstatement of the death penalty in states that don't have the death penalty. For instance, Pennsylvania doesn't have the death penalty, and the worst you'll get is life in prison without the possibility of parole. And sometimes people say you get the death penalty back, and it might thwart people from thinking to do this, But this guy ended up dying, but we don't know if he actually wanted to die. We don't know if he tried to escape. We don't know if he just wanted to go to a shootout and go out blazing. We just don't know. We just don't know. Some people don't like Shapiro in the chat. So, a lot of mixed feelings here about the situation. I don't know what's up with the press conference supposed to come here. So we're waiting to see what happened here. Shooting in Pennsylvania. Happened around 11 o'clock. We broke it on live. We didn't really see. What's crazy is there was like one reporter out there, but it was all grainy and hard. I don't think the reception comes out very well at all. Where's this press conference? Maybe it's not coming now. It's supposed to come up. They were supposed to have it. Might have to come back. Maybe we might have to come back. So on 2 troopers shot while responding to the call in Susquehanna. And it's supposed to happen like now. I don't see it. Let me look at the AP. Sometimes the Associated Press is sometimes out there too. Nope, not there. Nope, not there. We're on standby. CBS Pittsburgh just put out a report. See what they have to say here. We're waiting for the press conference. It's supposed to come up. They got a feed up as if it's coming up. And we'll see exactly what they say. If they say something at all, they might not even say anything. We'll see. We shall wait and see. And then during the course of this time, there wasn't much information being put out there either.
Continuing to follow breaking news in northeastern Pennsylvania. 2 state troopers were shot while responding to a call.
That's right. Chris Hoffman joins us live now with the latest details on this developing story. Chris.
Ken and Christina, we're still at the point where a lot of information is coming into our newsroom, but according to authorities, 2 troopers were shot while responding to a domestic call and were allegedly ambushed. Now, this happened in Susquehanna County, which is up near the New York State border in the northeastern part of the state up above Scranton. State police say the shooting happened around 11 this morning in the area of State Route 171. The troopers were sent to the home for a welfare check and reports of shots fired. Now, once they got to that home, a suspect allegedly ambushed the troopers, shot at them, and wounded them. One trooper had to put a tourniquet on the other before a third trooper rescued those 2 state troopers. Police say the man had a rifle and did not comply with demands. He was shot and killed by police. No identity for that suspect has been given. The troopers have been identified as Joseph Perechinsky and William Jenkins. Both are listed in stable condition.
This was the 5th and 6th shooting of a state trooper during my time and Colonel Paris's time in these roles. It never gets easier, but I am always strengthened by and lifted up by the heroism and the bravery that these troopers demonstrate in just really, really difficult circumstances.
Now, more information is expected to come out any minute as a press conference is planned for right now on this situation. This is a developing story. As more information comes out, we will keep you posted both on air and online. Kind of,
Right.
Christine?
Thank you, Chris.
All right, so that came out by CBS just 2 minutes ago. So as they said, a press conference about to come out. We're just waiting to see, waiting for it to start. So any minute here, we'll get some information about exactly what happened here. Now, I looked at Flight Radar 24. Earlier, there was a chopper up in the sky. It was around Thompson, near the New York state line with Pennsylvania. That has since gone. So, you know, I'm wondering here, you know, if they're still at the suspect's house, if they already left the suspect's house. We don't know. We just don't know, folks, what's going on. They say a press conference going to be starting any minute. And we'll see what happens. Where are they at? All right, we got something from earlier, a brief report from earlier.
Good afternoon, I'm Mark Hiller. We break into programming with continuing coverage of our breaking news from Susquehanna County. Governor Josh Shapiro confirms 2 Pennsylvania state troopers were shot this morning in the area of Route 171 near Thompson and Susquehanna. We've got multiple 2822 News crews working this story. We're going to check in now at 2822's Joe Mason, who is live near that scene. Joe, what have you seen and what can you tell us?
Mark, good afternoon. Yeah, this is a very much developing situation right now. What we do know is that driving out here today, we know that several state troopers passed by us getting here, dozens and dozens and dozens of them. And as you can see behind me here, this road is blocked off and all traffic is being directed to Potter Hill Road down this road here. And further up the road, there's several ambulances way up further. We're not entirely sure what is going on other than what we've been talking about. Yeah, we'll be sure to update you as more information becomes available to us. Mark, back to you.
All right, Joe, thank you. Now, what we do know here at 2822 News is that state police were responding to a report of a 59-year-old woman who had been shot. When they arrived on scene, it turned out that call was a hoax, and that's when gunfire opened up. And again, we know that 2 state police troopers were shot and that they were injured, but we do not know their names. We also don't know the condition of those troopers shot. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro confirming what had happened. He was in a previously scheduled event in Bucks County when at that scene he was alerted to the shooting, and then he informed the public there on the scene that, citing his wife, Lori and I are praying for those troopers, adding that the shooting was an active situation. I can tell you by what we've seen the type of vehicles responding to the scene. It certainly indicates that that scene is very active. We do not know if a shooter's been taken into custody. Again, by the looks of things, it seems like this is still an ongoing situation. We do know that life flight was called, or a medical helicopter, to remove one or both of the state troopers who were shot. We do not know the condition of those troopers again, and we are still working on learning their identities. Again, 2822 News has multiple crews working the scene. We will bring you more information as soon as it becomes available on air and online. For 2822 News, I'm Mark Hiller.
All right, so that was earlier. That was like one of just a... Look what we got. Some of the footage from earlier. Waiting for this press conference, ladies and gentlemen. We're waiting for this. There might be a little bit behind or what. It was supposed to start at 6. Crazy stuff. No choppers up in the sky now. I'm looking. Absolutely crazy. This was some of the footage earlier. That was some of the footage earlier. And then they also had a thing at the scene here. They had the road blocked off up there. I think it was 171 in that general area of Thompson. Had the entire road blocked off. But there was also some side roads there, and you can see it's like dirt roads too in and around. There was 171 between 171 and 92. We're gonna stick around to 6:30. Hopefully this thing comes up at 6:30, like it's supposed to happen. It was supposed to happen at 6. Now we'll just come back. Need be. See how the footage is like grainy out there because of just the reception's probably really, really bad. Can't really get anything. Even on live view. We've had problems too covering the manhunt of Danilo Cavalcanti up there in Pennsylvania, even in Chester County. There was my phone reception, especially out in those rolling hills, would go really, really bad. Well, we'll stick and wait. We'll wait and see what happens here. We're supposed to give a press conference. I just don't know where it's at. I've probably been repeating myself like a broken record. As we understand what happened here, why these troopers got shot, and who is the suspect. Give us the name of the suspect. Who's dead, by the way. Now, did he really harm some significant other there? The report there said it was basically it's a hoax. Hoax. Hoax or what? Man, these press conferences in Pennsylvania, next time we have to be very mindful. They might not come on when they say they are. This happened this morning, and I just heard about it now in my state. Grace said, there wasn't much information at the time. We had to rely on a Flight 24 radar, and we had to rely on the scanner. I want to retire. Thank you. You want to retire? I want to retire too. But even if we retire, we're still going to be talking about what's going on. Thank you for the gifted membership. Very grateful. Thank you. Yeah, we didn't have much information. I mean, I just found this now about the footage out there at, in this general area. Now we could sleuth around, and I think they're in that general area. The road, I think that they could be on Churchill Lake Road area. I personally, was going to go look around for a 59-year-old woman to try to find out who this person could be, by cross-checking, cross-referencing, because sometimes you take roads and you can see all like the residents, you can see who lives and try to pinpoint it that time. But it's just this stuff, we just understood what was happening a couple hours ago. Then I went to a helicopter crash out there in Mississippi River in Illinois and Missouri. No new update yet. I think something's going to come up at 6:30. We'll see for sure. We'll see. We'll see for sure. I think so. This was the footage out there, though. I mean, they didn't let anyone in that area. There was 3 choppers up there at one point. Thank you, Jamie Brook. Jamie Brook, thank you. Very grateful. Gene. Saw you, Gene. Hello, Gene. Gene C. God bless our first responders and every one of you. God bless. Thank you. Thank you. Lace, welcome to JLR Investigates. Presser a little bit behind. We had this up for 5:15, and then they said 5:30, and then they said 6. I know time is value. I want to know suspect's name. I'm sure you do too. Remember yesterday there was a crazy down there in Fort Stewart, Georgia, the great state of Georgia, the Peach State. And our own military got attacked on a base, military base, by another soldier. It's just insane. The insanity, stuff like, I mean, we've talked about this numerous times about crime, and we've talked about just how crazy things, when these events happen, they just go never in your own imagine. Like, I can't imagine these things happening. Like the situation here, the way they're saying is as if these people got duped. It was kind of like a SWAT, but they're the ones that got swatted. You understand what I mean? It's like the police are the ones that got swatted. They got called out on a hoax. And then in return, the person was waiting there and they were sitting ducks. Like swatting the swatter. It's crazy. But this stuff, just the level of evil that has been going on that we've seen since 2020. Now, maybe overall crime is going down. I don't know. But the events that keep on happening seem to just get more bizarre, more brazen, more worse, more umph, like craziness, particularly with assault weapons these crazies have access to and they're using in these crimes. I mean, look just the other day in New York City, a crazy man from the Vegas area drives across state and then parks and literally just walks with his assault rifle and walks in Manhattan into the NFL building. And the building that's housed, NFL and other business, Blackstone. But I believe the NFL was the target. I mean, how crazy does that get? It's just so many different incidents over and over and over. I mean, some of these kids and just shootouts that happen and rival people shooting. I mean, just the other day in Georgia, outside Augusta, bunch of kids, water boys out there selling water on the street corner. Next thing you know, gunfire all over them. People are shot at different locations. We got mass stabbings, citizens stopping them armed. We're 100% supportive of, people protecting themselves and the right to defend themselves in the Second Amendment. Responsible gun owners, absolutely. 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 But how are these whack jobs and wackadoodles able to get these guns? But it's crazy because you really, some of them are all, under the radar, and they really don't have a documented history of craziness, criminal history. So yeah, they can purchase a gun. Now, a lot of people have a lot of opinions about guns. I mean, look what happened with the mass stabbing in Traverse City. There was a citizen with a gun that stopped the stabber. A citizen with a gun. I mean, there was a crazy church shooting a couple years back in Sutherland Springs, Texas. And it was a church attendee that put the stop to the shooter and chased the shooter off. And they chased the shooter, and the shooter ended up dying. But it was a citizen that was armed. It is pouring down rain where I live. Folks, we don't have anything on the press. It's 6:32. I don't want to get into it where I say, well, we'll come back, and then as soon as we log off, then this thing happens. But we are waiting patiently for an update to find out what happened. And I'm sure a lot of you want to know what happened. I do. Continuous coverage of this ambush that happened in Pennsylvania. I'm also scouring around for news reports about this too. See if we can get any information about this or what's put out before they put it out. Last reports we're getting is a couple hours ago from the mainstream media. Susquehanna County. But I don't hear anything about somebody being identified. The identity of the person. A state police spokesman, Trooper Logan Brow, said the location was along Route 171 near the village of Thompson. That is about 163 miles north of Philadelphia. Angela Howe, a deputy coroner in Susquehanna County, said shortly after 3 p.m. that she was on her way to where the shooting occurred. Howe said authorities did not indicate whether there was more than one person dead when they asked the coroner's office to respond. I can tell you that the actor is deceased. And more information will be released specifically about what happened today, Paris said. The troopers' vehicles were also hit multiple times by bullets. Pennsylvania U.S. Senator Dave McCormick said in a social media post that he was monitoring the developing situation. He also expressed empathy for the troopers who were shot. Hey, Jennifer, thank you for being here. 24 months. Jersey girl, thank you for being a member of JLR Investigates. Appreciate that. Thank you. We're just waiting. So in the meantime, you're going to get to listen to me talk a little bit. Talk your head off. But we got like lack of information. Yes, the shooter's dead. So that's good news. I mean, I don't support the death of anyone, but I guess you would say that's good news. Some people might be like, well, you know, a death is sad for anyone to die. I get it. We'll just say the shooter has been neutralized. Now, it's unclear whether the shooter was shot by police or he did the self-inflicted gunshot wound to themselves. We don't know that. We don't know. Did the person have a manifesto or any type of writings? Anything out there to indicate that they were going to do this? Sounds like to me it took some planning, maybe, or was this just an irrational last-minute thought to just say, "Hey, I'm going to wake up Thursday morning and just shoot a bunch of troopers." Was there something more to this? Great question. We pretty much gave all the media updates on this. I was just waiting to see. At this point, if they're going to come on, they're going to come on 7 o'clock. I don't think they'll just come on in the halfway through the hour like that, between 6:30 and 7:30. Troopers ambushed. That is the theme of today. But we're just sitting here waiting until we understand more. I'll see what's up on Facebook. See what we got here. For people coming in the chat, welcome. We're waiting for this press conference. I was supposed to happen. "59 years old." That's what they said. The call. Nothing yet. They're not even reporting it on Action News. Philadelphia News, big Action News. Looking at WGAL TV. People also said the local media up there is WNEP. See if WNEP has anything on this. Nope. I do have a clip, though. Small clip. Get that up shortly while we wait. Got a few clips.
Stacy, word of the shootings traveled fast throughout the community here in Susquehanna County. People were shocked to learn something like this could happen so close to home.
It's scary. It's really scary.
We spoke to people at Arlo's Country Store in Uniondale, many of whom were trying to travel up Route 171, but were stopped by officials.
Yeah, all of a sudden a lady came out, and I don't know who she was. There's a couple people standing there near the intersection and said you can't go that way because there's an active shooter.
Mike Cottrell lives in Jackson Township. He was just concerned with making sure his family was safe.
My farm is just outside of Thompson, and I got 5 kids at home. I called home, told them lock the doors, and just keep your eye out.
People here are just relieved to hear that the incident is now over. We'll have more on Newswatch 16 at 6. I'm Valeria Quinones, live in Susquehanna County.
Valeria, thanks for that report tonight.
All right, so they're, interviewing people locally in that area. Supposed to have a press conference. Thank you, Trish. Thank you, Trish. Thank you. Very grateful. Thank you. I saw you earlier. I was waving. Thank you so much, Trish.
Live team coverage this afternoon. Newswatch 16's Melissa Steiniger has been at the scene all day and joins us live now in Thompson Township with the latest. Melissa.
Yes, Stacy, we are learning more about those 2 troopers who were shot. Officials now calling it an ambush-style attack. Now, Governor Josh Shapiro telling us that Trooper Williams Jenkins and Trooper Joseph Perechinsky were both shot when called to a home just about a mile down the road from where I'm standing. I'm actually going to step out of the way to give you a better look. Now, we're told if 171 here is still shut down, and that's where the attack took place around 11 o'clock this morning. State police say after that shooting, the suspect refused to comply with commands and was eventually shot and killed. And while we're still waiting for more details about how all this went down, State Police Commissioner Colonel Chris Paris spoke with Newswatch 16 crews just a few minutes ago and gave us some details on this attack.
Shortly after 11 a.m., the 2 troopers that I mentioned were dispatched to check the welfare of an individual, and there was additional information about shots being fired. We will have more information about the specifics of how that call came in, but upon their arrival, they were immediately fired upon and ambushed. They are very lucky to be alive.
Now, both troopers have been airlifted to the hospital where they are recovering from serious injuries. And we've actually just confirmed that Trooper Perechinsky is the son of the police chief of Mayfield. Now, we're, of course, getting more details minute by minute here, Stacey, as this is still very much a developing story. And we're not sure right now if anyone else was hurt in that attack. But again, that suspect is dead. No threat right now to the outstanding community. And of course, we will be learning more as state police will be holding a press conference sometime over the next hour. But for now, live in Thompson Township, Melissa Steiniger, Newswatch 16. Stacy.
Whoa. So one of the troopers shot son of a police chief. Absolutely crazy. Son of a police chief. A lot of times law enforcement in Pennsylvania, what I've learned in Pennsylvania, because I used to live in Pennsylvania, and even in like corrections and even in law enforcement, whenever there's like, it runs in the family. Usually law enforcement or correctional officer is more like generational in that state, especially rural. Because Pennsylvania is quite rural. I mean, when you think of Pennsylvania, you think Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. However, it's Hens Woods. Pretty big in Pennsylvania. I know this area all well, too. I used to go skiing up here in the Poconos. A little bit south of in this area. Jack Frost, Big Boulder, Camelback, Shawnee, Jim Thorpe. You ever been to Jim Thorpe? Beautiful. There used to be a falls. You used to be able to go to. I don't know if you can go to anymore. It's called like Glencoe Falls, I believe. Like waterfalls, a lot of waterfalls. You could climb up the trail. Beautiful out there. Jim Thorpe. North Poconos. This is farther though. This is farther up. This it's crazy because this is Pennsylvania. This is closer to Binghamton, New York than it is Scranton. That's how far up we are. Gibson, PA. I'm going to read this to all of you while we try to get some information. We're going to stick around to a 7 to see what happens here. Press conference was supposed to happen, so we're on a delay. On August 7, 2025, at approximately 11:17, Pennsylvania state police troopers responded to an incident in the area of State Route 171 in Thompson Township, Susquehanna County. During that encounter, a male suspect opened fire on the responding troopers, wounding 2 of them. Trooper Perechinsky, and Trooper William Jenkins sustained serious injuries as a result of the gunfire and were airlifted to a medical facility for emergency treatment. A coordinated response by the PSP, Pennsylvania State Police, units and local law enforcement agencies led to an establishment of a secure perimeter around the scene. The suspect was armed with a rifle, refused to comply with commands, and was ultimately shot and killed. They did it. Put your weapon down. Put your weapon down. Put your weapon down. They tell you to put your weapon down. You better put your weapon down. There is no remaining threat to the public. Both troopers are hospitalized, are currently listed in stable condition. The investigation is active and ongoing. Additional information will be released as it becomes available. Got that. So he didn't do it himself. They killed him. Him. Her. Him. It is 6:50. That's coming from the governor's website. Coming from the governor's website. But are we going to learn more? Now, there's a lot. I keep refreshing and looking for things in Pennsylvania. There's a lot of other things going on. This is where I'm from. I mean, I lived outside in Chester, Berks County area, Montgomery County. But I lived a little bit out, in my elevation where I live, like about 800 feet but I've frequent all this area on the all the way up to Binghamton, Wilkesboro, Scranton. This is Brian Kohlberger territory. Literally is. It's Brian Kohlberger. You know Brian Kohlberger, a case we covered extensively. He's from the Poconos. He lived right down the street from Pocono Speedway. The village of Thompson. How far is that? Let me see. Thompson Village. About an hour or so. It's 160 miles away. We're sticking on to 7. We just made the decision. We're going to stick on a 7. So this press conference doesn't come on a 7. We can always restream and come back. We're sticking on to about 7. I think it's going to come, but we'll see. Let me fish around a little bit. This is like the first time ever we were going to do a press conference and they just never ended up having it. Or they're late to the party. Literally it is. Where is it? What's the identity of the shooter? All right, so Lieutenant Governor just tweeted out. The Lieutenant Governor, Austin Davis, just tweeted out 30 seconds ago. I am thankful that the Pennsylvania State Troopers, Joe Perechinsky and Billy Jenkins, along with EMS officer Jay Larson, are in stable condition. Oh, we got 3. We got 3 people listed here. 3. Trooper Perechinsky, Billy Jenkins, and they're saying EMS officer Jay Larson, so that's new, are in stable condition and recovering with their families. So that's 3. Unless Larson wasn't shot, but it appears 3 people shot. That's new. The Lieutenant Governor puts a name, Jay Larson. But he also tweeted out, so they could be getting started here any second. If he's tweeting out now, he might be there at the scene. Lieutenant Governor, Governor. Lest that EMS wasn't shot, but they just name dropped another person. It could be 3 people shot here, or at least 2 shot and another person injured. It's 6:54. We're running a 7. Sometimes it takes them to a little bit to evaluate the situation too. How they changed it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. They changed the timing to 7:30. Seriously, they changed the time to 7:30. We can always come back if it comes on. I know a lot of people have probably just been waiting. At least you got to hear me ramble a little bit. And it could be going on at 8 o'clock. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. They keep changing. It went from 5:30 to 6 now to 7:30. Or we could just sit here. We can sit here. I'll sit here. If y'all want to sit with me. I'm just warning y'all. Yeah, we don't have who knows when it's going to come. If you guys just want to chill, put it on, put the phone down, put the stream down. I'll stick around. I mean, I don't really see anything really else going on right now. We've covered some crazy stuff throughout the day. There's always things going on. But I'm one of those type, I just get a little personal here. I'm just one of those type that's always scouring around looking for what's going on, keep people informed. There's always things happening. It's just some things overtake others. There's always things happening. There's a missing kid out there in Kentucky, a 10-year-old. We've been his name is Jayden. He's 10 years old. He vanished out of his house. I don't know, folks. I'm not going to say I'm going to keep my comments to myself until I learn more. I don't know anything about the family, whatever like that. 10-year-old boy just vanishes and walks out of the house in the middle of the night. They got a big search in Kentucky for this little boy. He still has not been found, that little boy. His mom released a statement, but she's not revealing her identity, which is very strange. But some people say, hey, to me, it's strange. But other people might say, like, she doesn't want to get involved in the circus, or people start blaming her or whatever. Jayden Spicer's a little 10-year-old boy. The other night, last seen 9 p.m. Wake up the next morning, he's gone. Family claims he wandered off out of the house. Really rural area of Kentucky. It's called Jackson, Kentucky. Like south of Lexington. And this little boy, Jayden Spicer, has not been seen. Now, they got big organizations, EquiSearch. EquiSearch, I think, is, if my opinion about the best search teams out there, I think EquiSearch is top notch. I mean, just because they've been doing it for so long and they're respected in law enforcement. Actually, we were watching the first 48 the other night from Harris County, Texas, about a missing girl. The boyfriend did it. But EquiSearch was like, they call EquiSearch to the scene. EquiSearch, they're respected. Law enforcement actually gets them, and they mount up the troops, and then they go out there and do the grid searches and everything like that. I personally think EquiSearch is the best. Other people, feel other organizations are good, but like as far as boots on the ground, organized, Tim Miller's crew and the other people that work there, people are saying they're playing Call of Duty and watching JLR. I think EquiSearch is the best. So they're out there, though. They're out there looking for this 10-year-old boy. Hopefully he's found. Hopefully he's found safe. But, I mean, come on. A 10-year-old boy now. We're talking 2 days into this. Just, if the boy wandered off, I don't like this. Getting a little Summer Wells vibes. Getting a little Sebastian, Wayne Drake, Roger vibes. Those two. Tennessee. How does a kid just go missing? Now, if you look at this little 10-year-old boy, just look him up. I made a video. We could play the video. Magnolia, you want to play the video? While we wait to see if this press conference comes back. I know people are coming on about this trooper stuff. We just decided just to stick it out for a little bit. Because I really want to know what happened here. I want to know the name of the suspect. So if I turn it off, I'm still going to watch it whenever it comes on. It's supposed to come on in a half hour. It was supposed to come on an hour ago. It is what it is, though. Things happen. Yeah, we can get that video ready. Here, I'll have to send it over to Magnolia. We posted up on the thing. This little boy. Might as well bring our attention to this little boy while we're here. I'll send this over to you, Magnolia. Magnolia's doing a wonderful job running the chat, like always. Streaming efficiency. In the meantime, I'm also looking to see if any additional information is about Pennsylvania, because sometimes before these press conferences, the media will set up their microphones and set up their cameras and everything like that. We got nothing yet. It keeps getting pushed back. They're like, yeah. Some people said the governor's eating his dinner. Some of that country cooking up there. One thing I miss about Pennsylvania is Shady Maple. I don't know if you've ever been to Shady Maple. Lancaster County area. Shady Maple. Ain't no buffet like a Shady Maple. Seriously. I mean, they got all those homemade pies and cakes, and fried chicken, and all that. Here's the little boy. Got the little boy here.
Alert, alert, missing child. A 10-year-old boy vanished in the middle of the night outside of Jackson, Kentucky, a very rural area, and a massive search is underway for this little boy. This is 10-year-old Jayden Spicer. He vanished from his home overnight, Tuesday into Wednesday morning, and Kentucky State Police have put out an alert. There is a massive search underway in a very rural area. Lots of trees. I see a creek. It looks like a dead end going into a mountain. Oh my goodness. Reminds me of Summer Wells. Well, let me give you some information about this little boy and the search for Jayden Spicer. Check it out.
All right, Trooper Gayhart with the Kentucky State Police Public Affairs Officer put out a urgent message here a few hours ago. Share missing juvenile, Jackson, Kentucky, August 6, 2025 at approximately 9:23 a.m. on Wednesday, August 6, 2025. Kentucky State Police Post 13 in Hazard received a 911 call regarding a missing juvenile in Bowl Branch Road area in the Jackson community. And is that Breathitt County? Breathitt County? KSP troopers and local search and rescue teams immediately responded to the scene and initiated a search of the surrounding area. Preliminary investigation indicates that 10-year-old Jayden Spicer is believed to have left his residence during the overnight hours or early morning. Jayden is described as a white male, approximately 5'1", with a slim build, blonde hair, blue eyes. He was last seen 9 p.m. Tuesday night, August 5th, at his home on Bowl Branch Road. He was last seen wearing blue Sonic the Hedgehog pajama pants and a matching shirt. Anyone with information regarding Jayden Spicer's whereabouts is urged to contact the Kentucky State Police Post 13 in Hazard. 606-435-6069. This investigation is ongoing and is being led by Detective Nathan Rourke. We got a detective on the case here. Okay, so I'm going to show you a map of this area. It's very rural outside Jackson, Kentucky. Check it out. This is Google Maps. We take you to Bowl Branch Road right here. It is a very, looks like it's a dead-end road. Very rural area, Jackson, Kentucky. Jackson, Kentucky. So we take you to Kentucky. You can see here, Jackson, Kentucky. It is, here's the state of Kentucky. It looks like it is in the eastern area. Very remote out there. So let's zero in here. Bowl Branch Road. It looks like it's off of Highway Road 1812. And it looks like it goes into a dead end. Now, here's where the area looks like. Let's look at the area here. Oh, okay. We got it, rolling hills, trees. We got some, looks like some trailers in this area. Okay, what's going on here? Bowl Branch Road. Look at the neighborhood here. Let's zoom around. Let's see if we can go back a little bit just to see this general area. Looks like there's trees on both sides. It looks very narrow around here. Let's continue to look here. Looks like it goes way back into a dead end. Now, this is preliminary. I don't know the name of the parents right now. We'll try to get some information, but this kind of shows you the general area of this missing child. This missing child, 10-year-old child. Where's my cat? Road eventually looks like it gets very, very narrow back here. Let's continue to look. Let's continue to look. What in the world is going on here? Looks like there's a creek going on the other side, on the left side. So that's we got this entire area here. We could take you into the back. We'll see what the back looks like. Back area here, Pan Bowl. Pan Bowl. So remote back there, folks. Doesn't let me go anymore. Doesn't let me go anymore. So we are like literally in the back here. But somewhere in this general area, this little boy is missing. And I don't see any ponds or lakes or streams in this general area. That's the thing about this. So
there's a little creek.
We'll be looking into this more. Stay tuned on JLR Investigates.
All right, folks. So we don't know anything about the parents at this time. We'll try to evaluate the situation. How does a little boy, 10-year-old, just vanish in the middle of the night? Did he walk out on his own? That's the information that's being put out there. We're going to continue to look into this. Keep this boy's face out there. Jackson, Kentucky, if you're out there watching, look for this little boy. This little boy needs to be found. We are praying that Jayden is okay. We're praying that he's just, exploring out there. And, sometimes these kids are curious. Unclear if he's autistic or anything like that. And there's no water around there that I've seen as far as lakes, ponds, and big water. So it will be interesting to see what happens here. We're going to be continuing to monitor the information. Sub to the channel, hit the notification button. Praying for the law enforcement and everyone out there searching for this little boy. When more information comes out, you'll hear it here on JLR Investigates. We'll talk soon. Stay tuned.
All right. So I had to put that out there when the information came out. In the meantime, CBS has put a feed up here that says it's going to be a press conference at 7:30. So it does appear like 7:30 is the time where we're going to get a press conference with here. So I just want to put that out there. CBS now has a feed on standby for 7:30. So I think 7:30 is it. 7:30 is it. We're stretching it. Running out of things to say here. Running out of things to say. Not much information on this. But in the meantime, we're just talking about other things, kind of just waiting and seeing what's going on. But yeah, man, how does a 10-year-old boy just vanish in the middle of the night and not found? Now we're about 2 days. Tonight, 9 p.m. will be 2 days. 9 p.m. will be 2 days since this boy went missing. What do you think? What do you think? Family put out a statement, but they put it down on a piece of paper, which was very interesting. I've never really seen that. And it said, "We love Jayden and we want him home safe. Please, if anyone sees my son, Jayden Spicer, please report it to the Jackson Police Department. Thank you. We love him very much. Please do the right thing. Call the police. Please pray for us and my son, Jayden. Thank you." That came from the mom or the family. But the mom didn't want to be identified. Mom didn't want to be identified, which some people are like, hey, some people are saying it's a red flag. Again, we're not accusing anybody of something, but don't you think the mom should be out there full blast? What would you do if your son or daughter vanished? What would you do if your son vanished? Wouldn't you be going on TV? Wouldn't you be going on the radio? Wouldn't you be posting on social media? Wouldn't you be out there searching, looking through every nook and cranny on the earth for your missing 10-year-old child? Yeah, I'll call it as it is. I'm a little curious here about the family and the fact that it's a missing person. There's a detective involved in this case. A detective already? Does detectives get involved with missing person cases? Yeah. Criminal investigation? Yeah. Detectives just to help to find a missing person too. If it's not criminal? Yeah. But a detective is on the case. But look at some of these cases. Look at some of these cases where these children are still missing. And look at the parents. Look at the parents. Look at the parents. And look at cases where kids are missing and their kids are end up, unfortunately, found in a pond or lake. The parents are out there looking. Parents are posting on social media. Help me find my son. We got a little statement, a handwritten note. But again, I don't know the parents. Maybe they just don't want the scrutiny. Maybe the mom doesn't want the focus on her and wants the focus to be on the child. We're not in their shoes. I'm just saying, if you were in their shoes, how would you behave? Trooper shot, and it appears like another EMS officer shot. We're waiting for a possible 7:30 press conference coming up here in the great state of Pennsylvania, the Keystone State. They used to say America starts here in Pennsylvania. The Quaker State. Penn's Woods. Oh, man, those trails are beautiful up there, man. Allegheny, the Appalachian Trail, Allegheny Mountains, Poconos, Susquehanna Valley, all that area. I remember I used to drive up the Blue Route, go past Dorney Park. Dorney Park. Remember Dorney Park? Is Dorney Park still there? Wildwater Kingdom. But you keep going up the Blue Route, and you get up there right before you hit the Poconos. It's just this, you see in the distance, you see this big mountain chain, and you're on the Blue Route. And then you see the tunnel, and you go right through the tunnel. Go right through the tunnel. As soon as you hit right through the tunnel, then you're in the mountains. And they're pretty big mountains. I mean, they're like 1,500 feet, 2,000 feet in that range. But it looks pretty. You're in a whole different world than you are below the mountains, in the Bucks County area. I mean, the hills are rolling there. Lots of trees. Beautiful. Beautiful. Spring, the colors, the leaves. Once you get into that Poconos, man, you're in the Poconos. You ever go to Lake Harmony? You ever go to Lake Harmony? It's beautiful up there. Lake Harmony. I used to go there as a kid. Used to swim. Friends had cabins up there. Used to, matter of fact, cabin used to stay at up there was right in back of, or right in front of Big Boulder. And in the distance, you used to look out and you could see the slopes. I could see the people at night skiing. You used to be open at night, seeing skiing. And then the deer, you used to go out there and put little corn in your hand, and the deer would come up and eat the corn. It's beautiful up there. I think the property taxes are high, though. That's one I don't think I like about Pennsylvania property. I like lower taxes. Sorry, I don't have to apologize, but I don't like high taxes. But Split Rock, remember Split Rock Lodge? I don't know if you guys remember Split Rock. Split Rock, another little smaller ski resort. I don't know if they still have a ski resort. I remember back then when I was a kid in the 80s. Yeah, the Lake Harmony's nice. And then you got Lake Harmony, you got Split Rock, you got Jack Frost, you got Big Boulder. It's a great place to be the family. The lake there, Lake Harmony. Yeah, a little beach there. Water's cold. Oh man, that lake water's cold. Even in the summertime, it's pretty cold. Then you go a little bit further, You get into Brian Kohlberger territory, Pocono Speedway, effort. Now you can go far to the east towards the Delaware River and get Shawnee. Mountains there too, Shawnee. I used to ski at Shawnee. The big ski resort, though, I think the best one up there is Blue Mountain. Remember Blue Mountain? Go right before you get up to the Poconos. You got Blue Mountain there, like right, the Blue Route, right? The big mountain there. That's Blue Mountain on the right. If you're facing north, it's on the right, Blue Mountain. A big ski resort. And it's on the other side. So you go to the top of Blue Mountain, you can just see. It's beautiful. I ski all the time. I miss my skiing. I'm from Florida now. I don't know. I don't know if I last time I skied was like 15 years ago, so I don't even know if I know how to ski anymore. I guess it's like riding a bike. You just go down, right? You just go down and ski. Pocono's got some good ski resorts. They literally do. They got some what are they called? Black diamonds. I don't know if they got double black diamonds. They got some ski resorts, not like Vermont, not like Greek Peak in New York. Vermont. Like if you're on the East Coast, up in the Northeast, the place to ski is literally Vermont, right? Vermont's beautiful. Killington Stowe. Don't they got like Mount Snow? Got quite a few resorts there. And then they got the one in the Adirondacks or the Catskills, right? The Catskills. Greek Peak. Skiing. Remember skiing. Poconos. This is Pocono area, man. This is like Poconos. Talking about Pocono territory. Lots of hiking trails. It's cool. You know, a lot of times, believe it or not, in the wintertime, like Philadelphia, they get rain. Poconos gets hammered. So if the Philadelphia gets rain, that rain snow line sticks around Philadelphia. But once you get above a little bit north in the suburbs, all snow. Sometimes it's all rain. Sometimes everyone gets snow. But a lot of times it'll rain in Philly south shore, Delaware, Wilmington, South Jersey. But north of Philadelphia, so Philly will get like a couple inches of rain and Poconos will get a foot of snow. Snow a lot there. I remember the blizzard in 1996. I don't know. I'm just shooting out of my mouth. Sorry, folks. We're waiting for this press conference. Decide to stick on. Yeah, snow, and I missed the skiing. Now, nothing like West Coast skiing, Colorado and other places, Utah. Out there in North Carolina, out by Mount Mitchell, they got some pretty good resorts out there too. Remember, some of the ski resorts have the towing thing with the rope instead of the chairlift. Yeah, the Poconos is nice. Pennsylvania is a nice state. I just don't like the property taxes. It's pretty high. But beauty, though, if you want all seasons, that would pretty much be the place to be. Get all types of seasons. Okay, they say the live feed for CBS Philadelphia is coming on in 11 minutes. So we'll see if this is going to be legit or not. 11 minutes. We've been on for an hour and a half waiting for a press conference. I generally want to know who the suspect is here. So, whether they release the name of the suspect or not, I think it's 50-50. Last time they did the wackadoodle there that tried to burn down Shapiro's mansion. Remember that guy? They released his name. They released his name at the press conference. Remember that wackadoodle? Whatever happened to that guy? Remember him? What is his name? Does anyone know? If you know your stuff off the wind, don't go Googling it. Who's the wackadoodle guy that remember that guy? Does anyone know his name? That was the guy that climbed over Shapiro's mansion fence and set his bottom mansion on fire. I know people are probably starting to Google it. That guy. Remember we were watching his perp walk when he was going into court and he like stuck his tongue out like a psycho. Some of these people are possessed beyond possessed. Cody was his name. Melissa Diaz says Cody. I don't know his name. I'm going to have to Google it. Who burnt Josh Shapiro's mansion down? Who burnt Josh Shapiro's mansion down? Survey says. What's the guy's name? Cody Balmer? Balmer? Cody Balmer. Cody Balmer. So, yes, you were correct. Cody Balmer. That guy was a crazy dude. Where happened to Cody Balmer? Oh, he's going to prison for 100 years for that. Let's see if he actually made the news. Because we had covered him that day, but we haven't covered him since. No one has been talking about him since April. That happened in April. There was an article back in June. According to the ABC 27, Pennsylvania governor's resident arson suspect Cody Balmer moved to SCI Camp Hill. Cody Balmer, the Harrisburg man charged with setting fire to Governor Shapiro's residence on April 13th, has been returned to Camp Hill. Previously, he was at SCI Waymart. These are state prisons, which the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections describes as the focal point for the treatment of psychiatric inmates. According to the Department of why is he in the Department of Corrections? He was originally arrested and taken to Dauphin County Prison. Oh, that's another thing, too. You know, they done that with Luigi Mangione. So that is that might be a new practice that they're doing in Pennsylvania, by the way, for high-profile inmates. Instead of putting them up in the county jail, they put them in SCIs, which are state correctional institutions. They did that with Luigi Mangione, too. They didn't put him in the county jail. They put him in a state prison until they extradited him to New York. Did the same thing with Richard Allen in Delphi. Because a lot of people are like, how in the world can a county non-convicted inmate be sent to a state prison? Well, it's becoming a practice in some states because they just don't want to put them in the county jail to risk these people doing something in the county jail because the county jails are less security than a state prison. But it is becoming a common practice, it appears. I mean, he literally tried to kill the governor. Governor could have, something very bad could have happened to the governor if his staff didn't wake him up and let him know about the fire. All right, 7:23. It's saying that a feed is going up at 7:30. Let's see what we got here. Is it? Oh, we got something. All right, another feed. WNEP is up too. Coming up. So we got this thing coming up. Finally. So we got it up. Another feed is up, but they just got it. Stay tuned. Got the feed up. So it appears now that 3 different feeds are on their way up officially at 7:30. Good news. Good news. Finally get some information about what happened here. I want to name a suspect. Oh, and if they name the suspect while we're on, I'll start digging around, trying to find out who this person is. Like we always do with the other people. Remember the Army yesterday? Literally, as soon as they named his name, we're putting his photo up on YouTube. And I already know that the guy, all his background and everything like that. Let's hope they name him, assuming it's a him. Very well could be a female, but I don't think females would do this. Not to judge, but this seems like an MO of a male. A male would do this. But we'll see. I don't think females are going to open fire on law enforcement, though. I've seen it in the movies. Suspect is dead. They shot him. They shot him. Thank God. Suspect is dead. They shot him. Good news. No, but I do appreciate y'all sticking around because I'm just curious about these things. You know, once I will say, and if you notice on our channel, once we get involved with a case or whatever, like we like to just at least follow up through its entirety to find out, you know, what happened, particularly when it's new and fresh. We want to see what's going on. And then there's a law, and then there's the judicial process. We either cover the trial or cover someone pleading guilty. Most plead guilty. This guy's dead, though. So this guy won't be going to court. I don't know where he's going. I don't think this person that did this is going north. I think it's going down. The person that did this, probably to a very, very hot place. Hotter than the Poconos. Speaking of Poconos, just like Brian Kohlberger, right? From the Poconos, from this area, goes out there, stabs 4 people. Kohlberger upbringing in that neighborhood in Indian Lakes is paradise. The gated community that he lived in, man. They got a lake, they got deer, rolling hills, streams. Why would somebody ruin all that? Why does somebody ruin all that? It's nice in the Poconos. It's generally nice. About to get this press conference started. Oh, the other feed went up, Magnolia. We got a picture of a building. It's coming. It's coming. Stand by. It's definitely coming. We'll see what's going on. We got a new backdrop. I don't know if it's outdoor or they're going to come. Yeah, it looks like they're coming outdoors. We'll put it up. Here we are. Press conference coming up. Looks like it's going to be outside. It's probably going to be the governor. Might be the lieutenant governor. Troopers. We'll find out for sure. Praying for the troopers. Here they come.
Good evening. I'd like to take a moment and introduce the party up here at the podium. My name is Christopher Paris, P-A-R-I-S. I'm the Colonel, Commissioner of the Pennsylvania State Police. To my left is District Attorney Marion O'Malley of Susquehanna County, M-A-R-I-O-N-O''Malley. To my right, Lieutenant Colonel Christopher King, K-I-N-G. He is our Deputy Commissioner of Administration and Professional Responsibility. To his right is our Area 3 Commander, Major Norm Kramer, C-R-A-M-E-R. To his right is Major Craig Rodriguez. He is our Bureau of Emergency and Special Operations Director, R-O-D-R-I-G-U-E-Z. To my left and to the left of District Attorney Marion O'Malley, we have Sergeant Jeremy Carroll, C-A-R-R-O-L-L. He is the station commander of Troop R Gibson, where we are currently, that covers Susquehanna County. And to his left is Captain Mike Walsh, W-A-L-S-H. He is our Troop R commander, which encompasses Lackawanna, Susquehanna, Wayne, and Pike counties. I apologize for the delay in us getting this press conference together. It's been a very tragic and harrowing day for the community here in Susquehanna County and the Pennsylvania State Police. We are still very much involved in an active and ongoing investigation. Our hope here tonight with this briefing is to give you a thumbnail sketch of some of the facts that we're prepared to discuss tonight. I will be speaking, District Attorney Marion O'Malley will be speaking, and then we will defer to the continued operational cycles in the near future to try and fully run down all of the aspects of this incident. So if I can begin by painting a picture for you, Gibson Barracks, where we are, Susquehanna County, was contacted this morning at 11:17 a.m. There was a report made by an individual that shots were fired in the vicinity of the numeric 20141, repeating 20141, State Route 171, Thompson Township, Susquehanna County. And to paint a picture, this is a 2-lane State Route 171 in Thompson Township. It is very rural. That location is one that's of relevance for this incident, but there's also a neighboring property with the numeric of 20034, State Route 171, repeating 20034. And again, these are neighbors, not on the other side of a fence, but several hundred yards away on opposite sides of State Route 171. When the call was received here by Gibson Barracks, it was called in by the boyfriend and cohabitant of our first victim, which I'm going to discuss. Our first victim is Lori Wasko, W-A-S-K-O. Next of kin have been notified. She is deceased. She was 57 years of age. She was a resident of Thompson Township at that first numeric that I discussed, 20141. Her boyfriend and cohabitant called 911 for the reports to report shots fired in that vicinity. Miss Lori Wasko was shot and killed in front of that residence in the general vicinity of her vehicle. Some of these exact locations, I want to be sure that, given at this point in the investigation, we're still very much mapping the scene and trying to identify the exact sequence of events. But she had been shot. 2 troopers were dispatched from PSP Gibson. The first trooper was Trooper Joseph Perechinsky, Perechinsky, repeating Perechinsky. He is a member of the Gibson Patrol Unit. His father, Joseph Sr., is the chief of police of Mayfield Borough in Lackawanna County. His brother is an officer with Archibald Police, also has a very strong law enforcement family. He has been a trooper for 6 years. He is single. The second trooper is Trooper William Jenkins, Jenkins III. He has been a trooper for 10 years. He is married and he is a father of 4. I will tell you, both of our troopers currently are stable, and with the help of the continued prayers of the community and their will to continue on, they will be with us, and we are extremely, extremely grateful for that. But back to the timeline of events, at 11:17, when that call came in by Miss Wasko's boyfriend, those 2 troopers responded. They responded along State Route 191 to try and ascertain the location of that threat of shots fired. The troopers made it out of their vehicle, and they were ambushed from a very good distance away. I don't want to quantify that pending further investigation, but they were ambushed by several rounds of rifle fire from a position of tactical superiority. Trooper Perechinsky was shot twice in the chest/torso area. Trooper Jenkins was shot twice as well, once in each arm. Despite being very severely wounded, Trooper Perechinsky was able to tourniquet both arms of Trooper Jenkins with some further assistance, and their cars, where they had arrived and gotten out of were also riddled with gunfire. So I'm not prepared today to speak about how many rounds were actually fired. I do feel confident in saying several dozen rounds were fired in the continuity and the entirety of this incident. So our 2 troopers have been shot. 2 additional troopers were able to come in and evacuate them. We have another victim as well. There was an EMT who was working for Barnes-Kasson Hospital, driving a quick response vehicle, an SUV. He proceeded to respond very heroically to the call for shots fired. He was driving on State Route 171 when his vehicle was engaged with gunfire. He took evasive action and veered off the side of the roadway and crashed. He sustained some injury as a result of that crash. He is listed in stable condition as well. He was able to make it out of his vehicle, and he actually hid for fear that the actor would continue firing upon him. So that brings us to our actor, Carmine, C-A-R-M-I-N-E, Faino, F-A-I-N-O, repeating F-A-I-N-O, 61 years of age. Faino is the resident at 20034. So technically he would be a neighbor of Wasko and her live-in longtime boyfriend. However, their properties are separated by several hundred yards. He, we believe at this point, murdered Lori Wasko, and he was the shooter who shot both of our 2 troopers, as well as who shot at Carl Lawson. Again, Carl Lawson's injuries were a result of the car crash as a result of the evasive action he had to take while his vehicle was taking fire. So this is obviously a very critical incident. Radio traffic went out that shots had been fired, multiple troopers had been hit. And I would like to try and just at this point blanketly say thank you to law enforcement from Susquehanna, Lackawanna, Monroe, and Wyoming counties, all of which responded. At some point later, we will collate a list to specifically acknowledge all of those people who were able to respond. Our 2 troopers who were shot, who were evacuated from that immediate vicinity along State Route 171, were taken and staged at an area where they were life flighted. So Trooper Perechinsky was life flighted to Geisinger CMC, and Trooper Jenkins was life flighted to Geisinger, Wyoming Valley. They are there. I have been with both of them. They are in good spirits. We have talked to their families. And as I said, we're extremely lucky to have them still with us. They are an answer to a prayer, while we simultaneously mourn the loss of Miss Wasko and think of her boyfriend and cohabitant, as well as Mr. Lawson. So back to the timeline of this event. The troopers are now, along with local law enforcement from those counties, attempting to set up a hard perimeter around our actor, Faino. He was moving about. We attempted to use a drone, which he shot down actively with a firearm, and we were eventually able to get a secure perimeter around his location. Major Rodriguez's organizational segment, the Bureau of Emergency and Special Operations, encompasses PSP CERT, Special Emergency Response Team. So over a period of time, we were able to hand that secure perimeter, which was being staffed by state troopers and local law enforcement from those counties that I mentioned earlier, to a hard perimeter that CERT was able to take up and again begin their highly trained, high risk warrant service or barricaded gunman protocols. Well, we attempted at length to try and negotiate with Mr. Faino, our actor here. At one point, I will tell you, he was sitting on a propane tank, which caused further concern that he had attempted to turn that into an improvised explosive device. And we were concerned about other weapons, not only the weapon that he was using a semi-automatic long gun, from which he fired several dozen rounds through this incident. But we were also concerned about other explosive devices that he may or may not have deployed at that location. After a period of attempting to negotiate with him, he continued to be a threat, and he was shot by members of the Special Emergency Response Team. He is deceased. So the perimeter it still remains, and the processing by the Forensic Services Unit of the State Police is ongoing. We do currently have in place a Area 3 major case team from not only Troop R Dunmore, but also elements from Troop P Wilkes-Barre, Troop F Montoursville, and Troop N Hazleton to bring out the resources to bear to properly process and assess this entire scene. We are conducting a joint investigation with the Susquehanna County District Attorney's Office into the lethal force that was used to neutralize Mr. Faino. At this point, I would like to turn it over to District Attorney Marion O'Malley for a few comments, and then I will retake the podium to finish the briefing and open it up for a few brief questions. It needs not to be said, but I will say it. The Pennsylvania State Police relies on partnerships across the 67 counties of this Commonwealth every day to do the work that we have to do. The partnership that we enjoy here with District Attorney Marion O'Malley is second to none. We appreciate her being here. We appreciate the support that she has given our troopers who were injured, and we appreciate her support every day that she gives as we work for the victims, Ms. Wasko et al. Mentioned in this incident. So with that, I'll turn it over to District Attorney Marion O'Malley.
Good evening, everyone. As indicated, my name is Marion O'Malley. I am the Susquehanna County District Attorney. I want to begin by offering my sincere condolences, not only on my own behalf, but on behalf of every member of my office, to Ms. Wasko and her family. A truly tragic event. She was a member of our community. She was a worthwhile individual. She's someone who gave back to the community, and her loss will be felt by many people. As the Colonel indicated, my primary function here, given the fact that Mr. Faino is now deceased, will be to participate in the investigation and make the determination about the use of force in this case. That will require involvement by several of my county detectives in the investigation, and that will be done jointly with the Pennsylvania State Police. It will not be necessarily members from Gibson, but perhaps another barracks, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. So to ensure the objectivity of the investigation, as I know I can always rely on when dealing with the state police. So as the information comes forward, you've heard from the Colonel, and it's absolutely true. This is a fluid situation. All the information has not been ascertained at this point, and it won't be until then that I can truly turn my hands to the report and take a look at what has happened and whether the use of force in this particular case was appropriate. That will take some time, but I know that I have the support of, obviously, the Pennsylvania State Police, as well as the members of my staff who will be working on it with us as well. We are very fortunate today in the sense that these two troopers are still with us. They are more commonly known to me as Bill and Joe. I have worked with both of them. It's a unique opportunity for a rural county district attorney to get to work with all of the law enforcement members of the community because of the number of cases and the fact that it's just not quite as big as our more metropolitan areas. So that's an advantage to me because I get to know who I'm working with and how they work, and they learn to deal with me and how I work. It is a true partnership. These two gentlemen, I will be waiting anxiously for them to return to work, and I hope they do not consider this as an opportunity to avoid court appearances in the near future. So with that having been said, I will turn the podium back over to Colonel.
Thank you, District Attorney O'Malley. A few more points. As per normal PSP protocol, the troopers involved have been placed on administrative duty, as we would in any other officer-involved shooting investigation. As the district attorney alluded, the major case team has been brought in from an area outside of Gibson to ensure that we're doing a full, fair, and competent and thorough joint investigation. Some thank yous. Again, I mentioned earlier at the top of the presentation, local law enforcement in Lackawanna, Susquehanna, Wyoming, and Monroe counties, all of whom answered the call for assistance several dozen officers and troopers were mustered to this ongoing situation, which was quite harrowing, as I said, for an extended period of time. To those counties and members of their EMS that helped us, as well as the flight crews that flew our troopers, really superb work. To the New York State Police, this organizational segment of Troop R, having been a troop commander up here, it is very frequent that we interact and receive support from our sisters and brothers to the north with the Stetson and the purple tie, and they were integral today after the fact in giving us a command post and some additional communication capabilities until we could get that set up. This was an extremely rural area, and we had some obstacles to overcome. So thank you to New York State Police Superintendent Stephen James. The New York State Police are always there for us, and I hope that they know that the inverse is true. So on behalf of Governor Shapiro, who flew in today to both Geisinger CMC and Geisinger Wyoming Valley, we received outreach from many local elected officials as well, expressing their well wishes. The governor and I were able to see both troopers and their families. Moving forward, there will be some additional procedures that both need to undergo. We're going to provide them the support that they need, both mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, through our Members Assistance Program and our chaplaincy program, to ensure that we give them not only the physical care that they need, but also the entire person. And I would say, on a personal note, I know both of the troopers personally. They represent the best of who and what the Pennsylvania State Police are. I spoke to one of the troopers who said as soon as they got out of the car, they had no idea where the rounds came from, and they were basically, under fire. A very, very unfortunately, I have stood at a podium to brief on incidents like this far too many times in my career. Since this administration came in January of 2023, this is our 5th and 6th trooper who have been shot in the line of duty over that 30-plus month period of time. One of those troopers was fatal, and I must say, from a very personal standpoint, despite the fact that we mourn the loss of Miss Wasko, and we hold up the victims also who were shot at, the EMT, Mr. Larson, as well as the victim's live-in boyfriend. I am very thankful tonight that we are not planning a double line of death funeral. So with that, we'd open up to a few brief questions. Sir.
Sir, earlier you said that there was a tactical superiority that Faino had over the two troopers. One, do you know if Faino had a military or police background? And two, do you believe that his ambush was premeditated to inflict damage upon the state troopers itself?
So I don't know about his prior history. That's one of the things that we're actually actively working up, his prior life and events leading up to today. When I say superiority to set the scene with a semi-automatic long gun, it is a tactical advantage when you have not only the element of surprise but also the element of distance. So you can see our two troopers that the basic information that they had was in this vicinity. Shots had been fired, possibly someone was hit. When you go out to an extremely rural area, you can get out and do a 360-degree scan in any direction, and the capabilities of a semi-automatic rifle from a position of tactical superiority, cover, or concealment really pose a chance for the actor, Faino in this case, to get the jump on our people, and for them to react the way that they did, for them to utilize the tourniquets on Trooper Jenkins. I spoke to both of his trauma surgeons. We were complimented as an agency. We carry on our belt per capita tactical tourniquets. And today, I believe, they not only made the difference for Trooper Jenkins, but again, we're very happy that they're both with us. I'll come back.
Were either of the two troopers wearing a vest when they were hit?
Both were wearing their ballistic vest, but the capabilities of the soft body armor against the long gun are severely depleted.
Do we know what type of round was used?
We will eventually have that, but we know, but I'm not prepared to release that yet. Sir, back to you.
Do you know? So just to clarify, was this a premeditated ambush, do you believe?
I don't want to speak to his motive leading up to this. I would say you can draw certain conclusions from the standpoint that we believe Faino shot our victim prior to our arrival, and then from a position of tactical advantage, fired dozens and dozens of rounds at two responding state troopers in their state police vehicles, as well as an EMT I would say it doesn't lend itself to a spur of the moment type decision, at least once he made the decision to open fire. Anyone else? Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
So we had crews all around Susquehanna County today, and one of them actually spoke to a man who says he called PSP yesterday talking about a man with a long gun walking down Route 171. And I was wondering, was that in fact the case? Was there a call yesterday?
At this point, I don't know, and I wouldn't be prepared to say if I did, given the stage where we are actively trying to run down everything that we need to know about Faino, not only for his actions today, but leading up to today. All right, we will release more information. Trooper Bob Urban, off to my left here, will push information out. We, again, our heart goes out to Wasko and her family. Mr. Lawson, who was shot at. Our heart and prayers go out to him, coming to answer the call for shots fired, not only for a member of the community today in Wasko, but also 2 Pennsylvania State Troopers. And I'll end where I began, where our thoughts and prayers go out to Troopers Perechinsky and Jenkins and their respective families. They represent, again, the best of who and what we are, and their spirits are high. They are thankful to be where they are today. And again, all of those people, we cannot say thank you enough. We're the beneficiaries rather, of extreme law enforcement partnerships all over this great Commonwealth. We seek to build those on a daily basis. We talk about building those relationships brick by brick, and they pay dividends on days like today. But as a former troop commander and area commander here in the Northeast, it is particularly so up here, and that paid dividends for everybody today. I will tell you again, after those troopers were immediately evac'd, after both had been shot by the 2 additional troopers that came to their aid, one of the 2 troopers, Trooper Perechinsky, was able to commandeer a tractor trailer that was driving by, and he ordered the driver of that tractor trailer to pull his semi-rig across the roadway so that more people would not drive down that roadway and potentially be subjected to the fire that the EMT and Mr. Larson was. Again, shot twice. You put a tourniquet on your fellow trooper on both arms and helped to do so. You triaged and got out of the area, still thinking at that point in time, after being shot twice in the chest, what can I do to secure this location? What can I do to make sure nobody else gets hurt? They're the real story here today. So I'm humbled and proud to serve as the commissioner, and I really appreciate all the thoughts in the community and the prayers. We appreciate it very much.
Commissioner, can I just say one thing? Sure. Thank the governor for coming up to say PSP strong. I'm glad the governor is backing you people the way he does, and thank you for your leadership. If there's anything that needs to be done to raise money or something, if these troopers need any kind of help, you post it, and I have a site to put it out there. Anything we can do to help the troopers or their families, we gladly will.
Thank you very much. And just a word about that, it need not be said publicly, but I will, to thank the governor for his continued support, not only for our troopers who've been shot, but also the municipal officers across the Commonwealth. He goes, he's physically present, and he cares about law enforcement and tries to give us the very best that he can, along with the partners in the legislature in Harrisburg, to give us the tools, the training, and the personnel to meet our mission. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Has Faino been on your radar at all in the past?
I wouldn't be prepared at this point to discuss that. Thank you.
Right. We got press conference.
By any chance, you said that Faino was at some kind of propane tank. Was there anything found to that propane
So
tank?
in addition to processing the scene, we had our hazardous device and explosives section, HIDES, which also operates under Major Rodriguez's organizational segment of BSO, to clear that out. And we're still in the process of fully clearing that area.
All right, they turned it off. I'm going to blow myself up here. Carmine Faino. Listen, folks, you know how we do the drill here on JLR Investigate.
Cause us to be very diligent in the way that
we'll continue to listen.
The scene in the event that he had prepared an explosive device. Okay, thanks.
That last question. All right, so Carmine Faino is 61 years old. We're talking about the 20,000 block of State Route 171. He doesn't have any social media presence. You know how we do on JLR Investigate Tuesday. List the suspect. We go digging around. I was doing it with my live. Yes, Found him on my databases, but no social media presence whatsoever. He got a dad that appears to be in his 80s, same name. But I haven't found nothing. Some relatives, I'll leave their names out of it. Dad, I believe, is deceased, but the dad has the same name. Yeah, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Why did this guy do this? Apparently, as a trooper was leaving there, apparently there probably was some sort of police contact at that address before in the past. We'll do a right to know law request, Pennsylvania right to know law. Find out how many reports of contact police have. If this guy was on the radar or what, man. Just scary, man. Scary, man. Scary. So our thoughts and prayers are with the victims, including Lori Wasko and the 2 troopers, and also the EMS that also got affected here. It's just a terrible tragedy, ambush, crazy scene on 171, like a pretty heavy route here. So this is like the main road going up there, through there between Thompson and Lanesboro. But it's crazy, folks. Just stay vigilant, love your loved ones. We are praying for the troopers' speedy recovery, and this attack on law enforcement needs to stop. But again, thank you for being patient and watching the press conference with us. Appreciate all of you, everyone that contributed. I see some new members. Paula, welcome. Mighty Robbie P, welcome. Trish, again, if you're in here, Trish, very grateful. Thank you. Jersey Girl, thank you. Jennifer Gilly, thank you for being a member for 24 months. Jamie Brook, thank you. I want to retire again. Thank you. Lace, L-A-A-C-E, if you're still in here, thank you. Jean C, thank you. Nice to see you again. As always, Jamie Brook, thank you for being a new member. Robin Lynn Griffin, nice to see you again. Thank you for being here for 2 months as a member. Stay tuned, 88, new member. Thank you, Dyer. What is that? Dracarys Dyer. We'll just say Dyer D. Thank you. And appreciate every single one of you, the comments out there. And let us know what you think. And we'll keep it moving here. Anything else breaks on this, you'll hear it on JLR Investigates. I'll try to find out more about the shooter here. We might not get much more information, but praying for Pennsylvania for sure. All right, we cover true crime 24/7, 365. JLR Magnolia Investigates. You have a good evening. Be safe out there, my friends. We'll talk soon.